My brother, my sister, you think Allah is silent, don't you? But what if I told you the silence isn't rejection, it's the sound of your biggest blessing being prepared. You're not forgotten. You're being hidden. My brother, my sister, I know your heart is heavy tonight. I know you're tired of waiting, tired of praying, tired of hoping. You've begged Allah with hands shaking. You've cried silently into your pillow when no one could see. And yet, nothing seems to move. Nothing seems to change. It feels like you're standing still while the world around you keeps rushing forward. You see people smiling. You see them achieving. You see them holding what you've been praying for. And you whisper quietly, Ya Allah, what about me? You wonder, has Allah forgotten me? But listen to me carefully. No, He hasn't. He never has. He never will. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are being hidden. Hidden because what Allah is preparing for you is far too sacred to be revealed too soon. Sometimes Allah hides you because He is protecting you from people who cannot handle the weight of where He is taking you. He hides your name until it is safe to be spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. He hides your efforts until the right moment, when they bloom into results that silence everyone who doubted you. He hides your heart until it is safe in the hands of the one He has chosen for you. Right now, it hurts. It feels lonely. It feels unfair. But this silence, this pause in this hiding is not neglect. It is divine strategy. My brother, my sister, do you know why Allah hides you? Because there are blessings being built for you that require silence. There are doors being prepared that cannot open yet. Because what waits behind them is too great to be revealed too soon. You see, the blessing Allah has written for you isn't small. It isn't ordinary. It isn't something anyone can understand, and not everyone can handle watching it arrive. That is why Allah keeps you hidden. Hidden from unnecessary noise. Hidden from unnecessary people. Hidden from hands that would try to reach for what is not theirs. You're not overlooked. You're being protected. Every unanswered dua you've whispered, every silent tear you've cried, every night you lay awake wondering if you've been forgotten. All of it has been seen. All of it has been counted. All of it is being used to build something greater than what you are asking for. There are things you think you want right now, people, places, opportunities, but Allah knows your future. He knows who would break you, who would betray you, who would waste you. So He closes doors. He delays answers. He removes people quietly. Not because you're unworthy, but because what He has written for you cannot be shared with those who are not meant to witness it. You're not stuck. You're being positioned. Look around at your life right now. Everything that feels still, everything that feels delayed, everything that feels quiet, it's not without reason. Your silence right now is sacred. Your hiding right now is purposeful. Your waiting right now is building something inside you that you cannot yet see, because Allah isn't just preparing the blessing. He's preparing you for the blessing. One day, you'll understand why you had to stay hidden. One day, you'll realize why certain people were removed before they could hurt you. One day, you'll see why Allah closed doors you were begging Him to open. And in that moment, when His plan finally unfolds, you'll whisper through your tears, Subhanallah, Ya Allah, you were protecting me all along. The delay you hate is the door you need. My brother, my sister, I know how heavy your heart feels right now. I know you've been praying for something, begging Allah for it, crying for it. waking up at night just to whisper His name. And yet, nothing. Nothing has moved. Nothing has changed. Every time you thought the door would finally open, it closed. Every time you thought relief was near, it slipped further away. And now, deep inside, you wonder, why, Ya Allah? Why are you delaying this for me? Why do I feel stuck while the world around me keeps moving forward? Listen to me carefully. What you see as delay is actually direction. What feels like Allah holding you back is Allah pushing you forward, just not through the door you expected. You see, there are doors we want, and there are doors Allah knows we need. Sometimes the thing you're begging Him to give you is smaller than the blessing He's preparing. Sometimes what you're holding onto so tightly is not where your soul will thrive. So He delays, not to punish you, not to forget you, but to protect you from a life you cannot yet see, and to prepare you for one you cannot yet imagine. Think about this. If Allah gave you everything you asked for, exactly when you asked for it, you would never discover the hidden paths that lead you to something greater. Sometimes Allah delays the marriage you want because He's writing a love story that doesn't begin yet. Sometimes He delays the job you dream about because He's crafting a position that fits not just your skills but your destiny. Sometimes He delays removing the hardship because that hardship is shaping the strength you'll need to carry what's coming. Right now you're focused on speed, but Allah is focused on direction. You want soon, He wants right. And that difference is everything. The blessing you're waiting for is not just about what you want. It's about who you're becoming in the waiting. Because Allah isn't only preparing the blessing, He's preparing you. Every delay is building something inside you. Patience you didn't know you had. Resilience you didn't know you needed. Faith that feels unshakable when it's tested. This waiting season is the divine classroom where your soul learns the lessons it could never learn in comfort. One day, you look back on this exact moment, this painful pause, this unbearable silence, and you'll realize something powerful. If Allah had opened the doors you begged Him for, you would have settled for less than what He was preparing. This isn't a punishment, it's protection, it's preparation. And when the door finally opens, you'll step into a life that makes you whisper with trembling lips and wet eyes, Subhanallah, Ya Allah, if you had given me what I wanted, I would have missed what I needed. My brother, my sister, right now I know it feels like nothing is happening. You make dua after dua, you pour your heart into sujood, you wipe your tears quietly in the dark, and still the door remains closed. But listen to this carefully. While you're waiting, Allah is working. Behind every delay is 1,000 tiny movements you cannot see. Angels are being sent. Paths are being rearranged. Hearts are being softened. Situations are being aligned. There are pieces of your story being stitched together right now in the unseen, and you don't even know it. You see, Allah's silence is never absence. When you think nothing is happening, everything is happening. Right now, He is removing people who would have broken you. He is redirecting opportunities that would have trapped you. He is protecting you from harm you can't yet see. And sometimes He is holding back the blessing itself until you become the person who can hold it without losing yourself. Do you understand what this means? It means this delay is shaping you. That heartbreak that shattered you, it's teaching you compassion you'll need later. That rejection that crushed you, it's training you to recognize what's truly yours and what was never meant to stay. That no that broke your heart, It's Allah saying, my servant, I have something better, but I need you to trust me first. I know the waiting is heavy. I know it hurts to see others receiving what you've been praying for. But listen carefully, what's written for you cannot be delayed forever. It cannot be stolen. It cannot pass you by. And when it finally comes, you'll realize why it took so long. You'll understand why Allah said no to every other door. Because He was saving you for the one door that would lead you straight to the life He wrote for you. Sometimes the delay isn't even about the blessing itself. It's about you, about your heart, about your soul. Because if Allah gave you what you're begging for right now, it might break you. But when He gives it later, after the waiting, after the growth, after the tears, you'll be ready to hold it, and it will hold you back. And on that day, you'll understand something profound. The delay wasn't a punishment. It was protection. It wasn't neglect. It was nurturing. Allah wasn't ignoring you. He was preparing you. He was preparing everything around you. He was preparing a blessing so beautiful, so perfect, so aligned with your soul that you'll fall into sujood, trembling and whisper, Ya Allah, you knew all along. And that is when you'll finally see that the delay you hated most was the door you needed most. The Quran already told you this. My brother, my sister, I know tonight feels heavy. Your heart is tired. Your soul is restless. And you're wondering why life feels stuck. Why doors keep closing. Why what you've been praying for still hasn't arrived. You've whispered dua after dua. You've cried in sujood. You've begged Allah silently when no one could see you. And when there's no reply, you begin to ask yourself quietly, does Allah hear me? Does He see what I'm going through? Listen to me carefully. The Quran already answered you. Long before your tears fell, long before your heart broke, long before you even asked the question. But perhaps you dislike something and Allah places your greatest good within it. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. Do you hear it? Allah already told you this. He already whispered the answer to your pain. What you see as loss might actually be rescue. What you think is rejection might actually be redirection. What you believe is breaking you might actually be building you. You're begging for one door to open, but Allah knows there's something behind that door you can't yet see. Maybe there's heartbreak there. Maybe there's harm there. Maybe there's a path that would quietly pull you away from Him. So He delays. He closes doors. He blocks roads. And while you feel abandoned, Allah is protecting you from the things you don't yet understand. The Quran teaches us that Allah's knowledge is infinite while ours is limited. We see only the moment. Allah sees the story. We see one chapter. Allah has written the entire book. That's why sometimes He removes what you thought you couldn't live without. Not to hurt you, but to free you from something that was never yours to carry. Right now, you're staring at a closed door and you think you've been left behind. But the Quran reminds you what's written for you cannot miss you. And what missed you was never written for you. You feel delayed. But in reality, you are being positioned exactly where you need to be. And one day, you will see it. You look back at the path you thought was painful and realize it was the only road that led you to where you were meant to be. You'll whisper through tears, Subhanallah, Ya Allah, you knew what I didn't. My brother, my sister, there are moments in life when silence feels unbearable. When you wake up at night and it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on your chest. When you whisper, Ya Allah, but the reply feels distant, almost hidden. And in those moments, you begin to wonder, why me? Why is this happening? Why does it feel like I'm standing still while everyone else keeps moving forward? But before your lips even form the question, before your heart even feels the ache, the Quran had already whispered the answer. And it may be that you dislike something while it is good for you. And it may be that you love something while it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you do not know. Surah Al-Baqarah 216. Pause for a moment. Let these words breathe in your heart. Allah knows you see pain, He sees protection. You see delays, He sees preparation. You see rejection, He sees redirection. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, think about it. If Allah gave you everything you begged for, exactly when you wanted it, how many times would you have walked blindly into your own heartbreak? Sometimes the thing you want most is the very thing that would quietly destroy you. So Allah writes it out of your story. He saves you from what you think you want to give you what you truly need. You see, only today Allah sees eternity. You see the moment, Allah sees the story, and every closed door, every unanswered dua, every painful delay is a divine mercy. Wearing the face of disappointment, the Quran didn't promise us that we would always get what we want. It promised us something greater, that Allah knows what we do not, that He sees what we cannot, that even in heartbreak there is hidden goodness. Sometimes Allah delays your prayer because He's preparing your heart to receive something bigger than you imagined. Sometimes He removes someone you love because He knows their role in your story was never meant to be permanent. Sometimes He closes a door so painfully because what lies behind it would have cost you your peace, your dignity, even your iman. And so He blocks it, even while you cry for it. And yet we forget. We see His mercy as silence. We mistake His love for distance. We confuse His wisdom with neglect. But listen to me carefully. The Quran is full of whispers, reminding you of one simple truth. Allah never abandons His servant. Remember what He says. And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for them. Surah Talaq 65:3. Do you understand what this means? It means you're not walking alone. It means the very delay breaking your heart right now is being carried in the hands of the one who wrote your entire destiny. It means the same Allah who parted the sea for Musa, who cooled the fire for Ibrahim, who saved Yunus from the darkness of the whale, is the one holding your story together right now. So breathe deeply, because the Quran already told you that what feels delayed is never denied. It's simply being prepared. And one day, when you step into the blessing you were once crying for, you look back and say softly, with tears streaming down your face, Subhanallah, Ya Allah, you knew what I didn't. You saved me from what I thought I wanted and gave me what I truly needed. When people leave, Allah is clearing the path. My brother, my sister, I know you didn't expect them to leave. I know you thought they were permanent. I know you believed they were part of your forever. You gave them your heart. You trusted them with your soul. You prayed they'd stay. But one day, they didn't. They left, and the silence they left behind is louder than anything you've ever felt. It hurts, doesn't it? It feels like a part of you was taken away. It feels unfair. It feels like betrayal. And somewhere deep inside, you whisper the question no one hears. Ya Allah, why did you let them leave me? Listen to me carefully. Sometimes Allah removes people from your life not to break you, but to protect you. You thought they were meant to stay, but Allah knew the weight they would bring later. He saw conversations you haven't heard yet. He saw intentions they've never revealed. He saw pain you couldn't survive. If they walked into your future with you, so Allah writes them out of your story, not because you're unworthy of love, not because you're too difficult to hold on to, but because He loves you too much to let you carry people who would destroy what He's preparing you for. Right now, you can't see it. Right now, it only feels like loss. But this isn't destruction. It's redirection. Because not everyone is meant to walk into the version of you that Allah is creating. Some people were only placed in your life to teach you a lesson, to spark your growth, to shape your heart. And when their part is over, Allah writes their exit, even when your heart begs for them to stay. I know you can't see it yet, but one day you will. One day you'll look back at this heartbreak and whisper through tears, Ya Allah, now I understand. You weren't taking from me. You were saving me. My brother, my sister, sometimes the greatest mercy of Allah comes disguised as heartbreak. I know you don't see it now. I know it feels like a wound that won't heal. I know your heart keeps asking, why, Ya Allah? Why them? Why now? But one day you will understand this truth. When people leave, Allah is clearing your path because He knows what you don't. He hears what you haven't heard. He sees what you can't see. That person you thought would stay forever, maybe their presence would have delayed your blessing. Maybe their hands would have blocked what Allah had already written for you. Maybe their intentions were never aligned with where your soul needed to go. So Allah rewrote their role in your story. Not to punish you, not to hurt you, but to protect you from chains you didn't even know were there. There are conversations you weren't meant to hear. Betrayals you weren't meant to witness. Plans you weren't meant to suffer from. Allah removed you from rooms where your name was being dishonored. He pulled you away from hearts that would have shattered you beyond repair. Sometimes He saves you quietly without explanation, because if you saw the full truth, your heart would break even more. So He hides it from you and simply removes them. It feels like rejection, but in reality it's protection. It feels like abandonment, but in reality it's redirection. It feels like you've lost everything, but in reality you're being prepared for better. Remember this, not everyone can walk with you into the destiny Allah is shaping. Some people are only chapters, not the entire book. Their purpose was to teach you, to change you, to break you open so you could grow. And when their part in your story is over, Allah writes their exit. No matter how tightly you try to hold on. I know it hurts. I know you replay memories and wonder what went wrong. I know the silence they left behind feels louder than anything you've ever heard. But the Quran reminds you, it may be that you dislike something while it is good for you. Surah Al-Baqarah 216. That goodbye you hate today is part of a bigger hello tomorrow. If they had stayed, you wouldn't have room for what Allah is bringing next. If they had stayed, you wouldn't have grown into the person who can hold the blessing He's preparing. If they had stayed, you would have clung to something temporary and missed something eternal. One day, you will wake up healed. You will look back and see Allah's fingerprints on everything you thought was falling apart. And with tears in your eyes, you whisper, Ya Allah, you were protecting me all along. My brother, my sister, sometimes Allah removes people because you've built your happiness around them instead of Him. He sees your heart slowly attaching to what was always meant to be temporary. And He loves you too much to let you worship the gift and forget the giver. So He breaks the attachment. He pulls them away. He empties your hands even when you're begging Him to let them stay. And I know it feels cruel. I know it feels unbearable. But in reality, this is the greatest mercy, because when your hands are empty, you finally have space for what was truly written for you. Do you realize what this means? That heartbreak you thought was punishment was actually an invitation to turn back to Allah, to lean on Him more than you ever leaned on people, to rediscover the one who never walks away, who never forgets you, who never grows tired of holding you. Sometimes Allah removes people quietly because they were standing between you and Him. Their presence was blinding you from seeing your own purpose. Their love was softening your grip on Allah. Their absence is Allah's way of pulling you closer, because there are some lessons you can only learn in the silence they leave behind. You see, Allah doesn't just prepare blessings for you, He prepares you for the blessings. And sometimes to prepare you, He has to break you, not to destroy you, but to rebuild you, because the version of you that clung to those people cannot carry the weight of the future Allah is writing for you. The new you, the one Allah is shaping right now, is stronger, wiser, closer to Him, unshakable in faith. I know the nights are hard. I know the silence screams. I know you replay conversations in your head, wondering what you could have done differently. But listen carefully. Their leaving is not your failure. Their leaving is not a reflection of your worth. Their leaving is Allah's way of saying, you are meant for more than this. Remember this, not everyone can carry the weight of where Allah is taking you. Not everyone can breathe at the altitude He's raising you to. Some people are removed because they would limit you. Some are removed because they would drain you. And some are removed because their hearts were never tied to yours in the first place. It's not rejection, it's refinement. It's mercy wearing the face of separation. And one day, you'll stand where Allah is taking you, and you'll look back at the names, the faces, the memories that once broke you, and you'll whisper through tears, Ya Allah, now I see it. Every removal was a rescue. Every goodbye was a blessing. Every loss was love in disguise. So tonight, don't chase what Allah has removed. Don't beg for what He has written out of your story. Don't mourn doors He has sealed shut, because what's ahead is greater than what you left behind. Be patient. Something greater is coming. And maybe tonight is the night. You need to hear this most. The blessing you've been begging for is already on its way. The love you've been praying for is already being written into your story. The peace you've been searching for is already closer than you think. All you have to do is trust. Trust the silence. Trust the delay. Trust the one who loves you more than you love yourself. So tonight, before you close your eyes, place your heart in Allah's hands and whisper softly, Ya Allah, I trust you. I trust your plan. I trust your timing. I trust that what's written for me will reach me, and what's not meant for me will never harm me. And in that surrender, you'll finally feel the peace you've been chasing all along. Because this is the whisper you've been waiting for.